It can be difficult to figure out how to exercise with chronic fatigue syndrome, or any chronic illness for that matter. So in this video, I'm going to talk about gentle exercises that you can incorporate into your routine, even if you are struggling with CFS or any other chronic illness. But first, I want to say, greetings my fellow decrepits, invalids, and other sick people. I hope you're doing well today and that you're fighting the good fight. Welcome back to the Fitness with an Illness YouTube channel, where we like to talk about health and fitness and what those look like while battling with a chronic disease. My name is Ryan, and I have personally been battling with a chronic illness for over 2 years now, and have fully been leaning into this new health journey that I'm on, and I'm trying to help other people along the way. And so if that kind of conversation sounds interesting to you, I would really appreciate it if you took a moment to smash that like button, give a ring-a-ding-ding to that notification bell, and maybe even consider subscribing and sharing this content with your family and friends. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so I'm going to cover these 5 exercises in the order that I consider to be the easiest, working our way up to the hardest. But even the hardest exercise should hopefully be gentle enough that most of you could still do it. And quick disclaimer, I am not a doctor or a healthcare professional, and anything I say should not be taken as medical advice. If you have any questions or concerns, you should please reach out to your healthcare provider. Number 1. Alright, so the first exercise is stretching. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. Ryan, stretching isn't an exercise. And honestly, before I became sick with chronic fatigue syndrome, I probably would have agreed with you. But if your chronic illness has left you bedridden at times, like mine did, then you have to start somewhere. And I know for myself, there were days where I was stuck in bed and I would just try to move my arms or stretch a little bit, raise my legs, very simple movements just to try and keep my muscles and joints moving. Because you see, even after just 10 days in bed, your body loses a significant portion of your muscle. And for any of us battling with a chronic illness, it's very likely that we have spent much longer than 10 days in bed. For some of us, it's months or even years. And so we have to prioritize any kind of movement that we can manage. So, what are some of the benefits of stretching? Stretching obviously improves flexibility, and it also increases blood flow, which is very important, especially if you're stuck in bed. Helps improve range of motion and posture, both of which also suffer while bedridden. It can also boost your energy, as well as slightly increase your strength, all of which will help you if your illness has really knocked you out. And one of the benefits that stretching has for those of us with a chronic illness is that it's not very taxing on our energy, and we should be able to engage with this exercise with little to no symptom flare-ups. So no matter how hard it seems to exercise right now, try and stretch for at least a few minutes a day. This way you can keep your muscles moving in some small capacity. Number 2. Walking is taking our number 2 spot. This should be pretty self-explanatory, especially considering we have to walk in order to do anything. The nice thing with walking is that it's generally very easy to be able to tell your limits. Depending on where you're at in your health journey and how bad your symptoms are, your goal could be to walk anywhere from just down the hall to up to a mile. For myself, this measurement has varied constantly, ranging anywhere from just trying to walk for 1 or 2 minutes around the house, or walking a half a mile down the street. And so I would encourage something similar to you. Only you know how bad your symptoms are and how limiting your condition is. And it will likely vary on a daily basis. So please allow flexibility within your routine. It's hard exercising with an illness, so please be patient with yourself. Some days you might be able to walk for 10 plus minutes, other days you might only be able to walk for 5 minutes. And both are perfectly fine. The goal is consistency. I try to get up and walk for at least a few minutes every day, even if it's just to the mailbox, or just several laps around the living room. Also, side note, my mailbox is actually a little ways away. It's not just in my driveway. Walking, like most cardio, will help improve your heart and bone health, and even improve your immune system function. Walking, like most exercise, can also increase your energy, but if you are dealing with a disease where energy is in short supply, please just make sure to monitor yourself very closely. And thankfully, walking is also an exercise where we're going to start burning a few calories, which will obviously help the waistline. So get out there and take a few steps today, and if you can even get outside and get some fresh air while doing it, even better. Also, I have one more bonus tip at the end of this video, so please stick around for that. I think you're going to find it fairly interesting. Number 3. Body weight exercises are next. This is a very broad term, but that also makes this exercise very accessible. Generally speaking, the large appeal for body weight exercise is the fact that they're very light on your body. You can do them pretty much anywhere, you can do them at home, and there is little to no equipment necessary. And if you do need equipment, you can often supplement with things like a couch, a chair, or even canned food. Some examples of bodyweight exercises would be things like Pilates, Tai Chi, or HIIT workouts. which stands for high intensity interval training. But the beauty of bodyweight exercises is that you could also simply just create your own plan, using exercises like push-ups, squats, leg lifts, and even good old jumping jacks. The list obviously goes on and on, but I think you get the idea. Bodyweight exercises are great because the only resistance you have to work against is your own weight, which, to be fair, for some of us may be harder or easier. But regardless, bodyweight exercises are a great addition to anyone's health journey, whether you're a complete beginner or you've been exercising and working out for years. And if you are battling with a chronic illness, this is a great lightweight exercise that isn't going to tax your body too much, but it's also going to push you just a little bit. And there are plenty of videos all over YouTube of bodyweight workouts that you can just follow along. Just do a quick search and find one that you like. At some point, I plan on making some of my own for this channel, but I'm not quite ready for it yet, but please stay tuned. All right, now we're getting into the heavy hitters, at least for those of us with chronic illness.
Number 4.
Up next is cycling. Now, this could be on an actual bicycle, or this could be on some kind of stationary bike if you have access to either of those. But cycling is a very gentle exercise with little impact, and it's very easy for you to adjust the level of resistance on your bike or on the machine. And obviously, you can incorporate hills or incline for an even greater challenge. And if you don't have access to a stationary bike or a bicycle, most gyms will have several stationary bikes that you can use, as long as you can afford to pay the gym membership. But if getting out of the house still seems like a challenge, or you can't afford either of these options, maybe consider an under-the-desk bike. These little contraptions would be great for someone who is struggling to get out of the house, but also provide a minimal workout for a decent price. They also don't take up very much space, which is great if space is an issue for you. This is also the kind of exercise that would be very easy to do while you're watching TV, or just like the name implies, use it under your desk while working. Now, don't expect this under-the-desk bike to produce the same results as an actual bike or a stationary, but this could be a great starting place for you depending on where you are at in your health journey. These units typically run anywhere from $50 for a basic one up to $150 for a decent one.
Number 5.
And lastly, we're going to talk about exercising with resistance bands. This is going to be very similar to body weight exercises, except for the fact that the resistance bands add an extra level of challenge. And resistance bands come in different resistance levels, allowing you to personalize your workout routine to accommodate your needs. With these bands, you're still going to be able to do pretty much any kind of body weight exercise you can think of. You'll just have to look up online how to incorporate these bands with the particular exercise you're trying to accomplish. You're still able to do things like squats and push-ups and leg lifts, but you'll also be able to incorporate things that are closer to true weight training, such as bicep curls, shoulder press, and deadlifts. Now, in my opinion, once you're getting into the realm of resistance bands, you're starting to get into the territory of a little bit more vigorous of a workout. So please pace yourself and listen to your body. Remember, fitness and getting into shape can often help manage symptoms of a chronic illness, but make sure and talk to your doctor and listen to your body as you go along. There's no point in overdoing yourself and putting yourself back in bed with more symptoms. And now for the bonus exercise I wanted to share with you. That's going to be swimming and water aerobics. Now, the reason I did not include this exercise on my list is because not everyone has access to a pool. I certainly don't, and I'm sure many of you don't as well. But if your gym happens to have one, or if you are lucky enough to have a pool in your backyard, swimming is one of the lightest exercises you can do on your body. It is very easy on your joints and muscles, and because we often feel so light in the water, it makes it very easy for us to move around even if we're in pain or a little bit heavier. So you could either join some kind of water aerobics class at your gym, or even just hop in the pool and swim back and forth doing a couple of laps. And not only is swimming a great exercise, but if you are submerged while you're swimming, you're also working on your breath work, which will help create better breathing habits and increase your lung capacity, which will greatly help your performance in all other forms of exercise. Alright, that's going to do it for today's list. I hope you found this list to be helpful, and maybe I was able to give you a few ideas of how you can still exercise with a chronic illness. If you have any thoughts or ideas on other gentle exercises, please share them down below so others can see your ideas as well. Thank you, my friends, for spending part of your day with me. God bless you. Please take care of yourselves, and we will see you in the next one.